guys, it's Holly here at Faces and welcome to episode 12 of the Face It podcast. Today I am joined by two lovely ladies. We've got Eve, Casha and Maxine White. Both are from Evenswiss Skincare. So Eve is the Chief Scientific Officer for Dymoke-Marr and Head of Education at Evenswiss, and Maxine is their Business Development Manager. So welcome ladies, and thank you so much for joining me on the podcast today.
Thank you.
Hello, thanks for having us.
You're more than welcome. So the hot topic of today's podcast is skin and skincare. And Evenswiss is basically a revolutionary skincare company who use pharmaceutical technologies in their skincare to create products unlike anything else on the market. So ladies, tell us a little bit about Evenswiss, what you guys do, what products you've got, and just give our listeners a bit of sort of a rundown of everything Evenswiss related.
Okay, sounds great. So Evenswiss has actually been around for almost 10 years, but it started developing much, longer time ago than this. So in 1980, there's a research group that started studying how cells in the skin are communicating. And so one of the ways in which they do this is by secreting certain proteins to and from each other. And there are hundreds and hundreds, if not thousands, of different proteins that skin cells will use to communicate. But one protein they use in particular is called interleukin-1 alpha. And it's involved in many different things in the skin, including inflammation and then the immune system and cell renewal and so on. So they started studying this specific signaling protein and this type of signaling within the skin for about 20 years. And they were able to develop the technology in Evenswiss based on this research. So the main technology in Evenswiss is called dermatopoietin, which is a long name, but it's representing a peptide that is a direct mimic of this protein I was mentioning earlier, which is interleukin-1 alpha.
It all sounds very technical, but also super interesting. Just sorry to interrupt, Eve, but just with regards to the peptide. So my understanding is that it's like a false signal to the brain. Is that correct or no? So it will replicate.
Correct, partly. So it's mimicking a signaling protein. So when it's applied to your skin, it's recognized by your skin cells as like a natural protein. So because of this, it's causing these cells to then produce their own signaling proteins to their neighbors. So it enhances the way skin cells are communicating, and it actually increases regeneration in the skin in a couple different ways because of this. So it doesn't actually hit the brain in any way, but it is a biological mimic and can change the way cells are behaving, which is really, really cool.
Amazing. I mean, I'm not scientific at all. So in kind of basic terms, just for anybody who's listening who like myself is not a scientist and who doesn't really understand all those long words you just mentioned, can you give us a sort of brief summary of what you guys do and what's in the skincare really, and why it's amazing?
Evenswiss products don't penetrate the skin. They don't penetrate the dermis or the epidermis. They work from the surface by cascading signals down to cells, which then communicate to other cells and so on and so on, to repair and regenerate. So that's the difference. They do not penetrate the skin.
Right. Okay. That's good to know. So thank you, Maxine, for simplifying it. I think when it comes to skincare products and practitioners, because obviously, practitioners, whether they're doing facials, microneedling, dermaplaning, any kind of skin treatment, obviously do need to purchase skincare products for their patients, and that might be anything from a cleanser to a serum to a moisturizer. I think sort of these days, particularly with how expensive it is to set up a business and to how to get started, a lot of practitioners may be inclined to try and find a cheaper alternative to, say, a good skincare brand. So can you guys sort of explain a bit about the importance for a practitioner to actually invest in really good products for their patients?
I think that for anyone delivering a service, such as a medical or an aesthetic service, that the customer journey is really important. It's important to the client, it's really important. And also it's important for the practitioner for repeat business as well. Because one of the questions that I'm sure comes up with every visit, every consultation to a practitioner is, how long is the downtime? How long, what am I going to go out looking like? How long am I going to feel like? Is my skin going to feel like that? How long is it going to look like that? So I think it's really important that the practitioner educates the client on what to expect afterwards and what can give them the best results to walk away with, so that their skin feels comfortable, it's not red, they're not embarrassed by how they look. So that's, for me, is part of the customer journey. So to deliver, for the practitioner to deliver fantastic skincare afterwards is really important, because they want that client to come back to them. If they don't know that they're in great hands and they're going to get a recovery that's really quick and really comfortable and visually pleasing as well, then, that to me is part of the service.
Yeah, 100%.
I agree with this as well, but also from a scientific side, it's exactly the same concept. But when you deal with skin and skin treatments, for example, with a filler or Botox, you are achieving great things. If it's a Botox, you're helping freeze a muscle to prevent a wrinkle. With filler, there's some hydration involved, which you're helping to replace volume and so on. But on top of these treatments, there's also the layers of skin and all the different specialized cell types in there. And with age, they get damaged, they slow down, and processes don't work as they used to. So you can have, a lot of treatments, but people will always see the quality of your skin on top. They will see pigmentation, lines, wrinkles, dryness, poor texture, and so on.
Yeah.
So they need to, and they do, totally work together to give the absolute best results. And same goes for other treatments like lasers. They're correcting. Sometimes they're causing a bit of trauma to induce correction, and they can do wonders for people who need them. But you don't use them every single day. And after something is corrected, what you do and how you treat your skin on a day-to-day basis is a huge piece of the puzzle. And so this is where a cosmeceutical range like Evenswiss comes in. It's backed by 6 different clinical studies, and it can actually increase your skin's own production of collagen, elastin, and hyaluronic acid and growth factors. So it's an adjunct to all of these different things that practitioners already know and love.
Amazing. No, I completely agree with you there, Eve. I mean, I've even got friends that kind of see Botox and fillers as like a quick fix. And I mean, a lot of people do, but then, they still struggle with their skin. And then I'll ask, what do you use on your skin? And, I just use a face wipe in the evening to take my makeup off. They're not, they're happy to invest in the aesthetic treatment, but then like I say, they're not investing in any kind of good quality skincare for that longevity. So yeah, we might be able to get rid of a few wrinkles with some toxin and plug a few areas using dermal filler, but really that's not going to do everything that your skin needs, because they're completely different things, aren't they?
Yeah,
that's right.
I completely agree. And I think from a practitioner's point of view, actually being able to speak to your clients and educate your clients, like you said, Maxine, on this is the skincare I'm using on your skin because of XYZ, makes you a lot more reputable as a practitioner. Exactly. And also just really backs up why you're doing everything. Because I think clients' knowledge as well of skincare, of treatments is increasing all the time on social media. You know, a lot of clients now have access to prescription skincare. You know, they know sort of what brands are potentially better than others, or what are right for them. So I think clients are going to be a lot more inquisitive as well on, okay, what's that moisturizer you're using, what's that serum you're using, etc.
Yeah, absolutely. And the good thing about Evenswiss skincare as well is you can use it with other skincare. So you don't have to stop using what you're using and invest in a whole new range. You can use the products with what you're currently using at the moment. You can just introduce them in between and on top.
Yes, I will add, because this is so important, especially with kind of how the science of it is working. All of the cell communication that's happening, and the fact that it can trigger your own production of collagen, elastin, hyaluronic acid, and so on, it's coming through a molecular mechanism that involves a receptor called interleukin-1 alpha receptor. All active ingredients, when they hit a molecular or cellular target, are usually hitting a receptor. So for example, retinoids or retinol, which people know and love, it's working in your skin via a retinoic acid receptor. And Evenswiss, the technology inside, is working via a different one. But both are able to increase the fibroblast production of collagen, elastin, and so on. But because Evenswiss can be combined with virtually anything, when you introduce it into a routine and it doesn't have to penetrate the skin to work, you amplify all results. You give your skin a new way to regenerate itself, which is really, really special.
Yeah. What are you saying? Are you saying that, you know, if let's say a practitioner or a patient or whoever uses a product or introduces an Evenswiss product to their regime, does that make the other products start to work better as well?
Not necessarily. All products will work as they're intended to, but what it will do is add additional like boost to your routine. So it will make your skin produce more collagen and more elastin and more hyaluronic acid than it was before.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, absolutely.
Like it makes your skincare routine more powerful. It doesn't affect the other products, but it's a really, you know, strong addition.
Yeah, amazing. Okay, so with regards to treatments then, can you just explain a bit about how some of the Evenswiss products can come into play in different skin treatments that practitioners offer, such as microneedling, for example? You know, is there a specific way they should be used, or, you know, how do a lot of practitioners introduce them to their clients during different treatments?
Sure. So Evenswiss works really great with any kind of collagen induction treatment. I'll just back up a step as well. Rejuvenation is a scientific term that many people don't realize. And rejuvenation and regeneration means that the skin is repairing itself, that the dermis is remodeling. So you are actually triggering your own skin to make its own proteins, so collagen, elastin, hyaluronic acid, and growth factors, etc., with whatever treatment you're doing. So for example, with microneedling, this is the core of that. You are causing little tiny micro traumas into the dermis and getting your fibroblasts to be stimulated and start regenerating all over again. Evenswiss helps here because this is exactly what it does, but it does it in its own unique way by triggering certain cell communications. So when it's combined with certain treatments, it amplifies or increases the result because you're increasing the amount of collagen that you're able to stimulate within the skin. So this is how it's helpful for in the treatment and aftercare. So it can be used as a final layer of treatments to add the extra stimulation, and then for aftercare as well, because there are certain products in the range that downregulate inflammation, control inflammatory moments, but also help boost the actual regeneration, you know, after the treatment. Yeah.
Amazing. Can you introduce us to a few of the products and just sort of, I don't know, give us a bit of an introduction to them, just so the practitioners who are listening can just hear a bit about them individually, because I know there's quite a few different things in the range, isn't there?
Yeah, do you want to, or should I? Are you both? I'll start with the two products that are most commonly used within a treatment, because this is often how it's introduced to people, right? You would introduce in a treatment and then start a conversation from there. So for example, this serum is called Skin Regenerate Serum or Master Booster. This is a very basic formula that includes the technology, which is called dermatopoietin in a hyaluronic acid base. It's oil-free, fragrance-free, and it's like, I don't know if you can see, it's a lightweight gel.
Ah, yes.
So for many treatments, depending on how aggressive they are, the skin can't have occlusion, or it can't have any like trapping of moisture, because it still needs to recover, regenerate, release heat, release water, whatever it needs to do based on the treatment. So this one is commonly used in treatments because it won't suffocate your skin at all, and it won't trap any water, and it still lets the skin do its thing, but you get a dose of dermatopoietin, so you boost collagen production. So that's Master Booster.
Amazing.
It's the highest concentration of dermatopoietin in the range. But another one I will mention, which is an absolute hero serum, is called Regenerating Plasma. This is also used in treatments because it's anti-inflammatory, and it helps control the inflammation after a facial treatment. Because it contains dermatopoietin, but there's a combination of ceramides. There's a little bit of coffee, which helps boost cell renewal. There's a tiny bit of vitamin A, but this also helps boost regeneration and cell renewal. So it's a really, really great addition. And on a day-to-day basis, it's people with sensitivity and rosacea, sometimes eczema, who are using this to control, inflammation. Yeah. Amazing. So these are ones, I mean, I could go on forever. I mean, I will just conclude with saying, of course, dermatopoietin technology is in the entire range, because it doesn't matter who you are or what skin condition you have. Your skin needs to regenerate from the age of 25 onward. It's not behaving as if it's young anymore. And so you need to boost collagen, elastin, and hyaluronic acid for maintenance and prevention of aging.
Yeah.
But
it's a known fact, isn't it? We can't hide away from that. From 25, that is science, and that's what happens. But I think with regards to the products, I think for a practitioner to invest in these, or a patient to invest in these following their treatment, they are clearly suitable for all skin types. And I think that's something so important to consider when you're purchasing products, because you may have a client come in who has eczema, as you say, maybe they've got rosacea, maybe they've got sensitivity. So instead of having 20 different types of serum in your clinic, you've got literally one thing which is suitable for everybody. And I think that's really, really amazing.
Yeah, exactly. It's a streamlined range. So of course there's different products for hyperpigmentation, because you need to act on a melanocyte cell and control it there. For inflammation, some antioxidant products, and some for acne and so on. But in general, the range is fairly streamlined. So you don't have 30 products for one skin condition. But of course, you have someone with an oily skin who is not using a rich cream intended for maybe someone who's going through menopause, So there are some differences, but it's a nice technology that helps everyone. Yeah.
Amazing. Absolutely love that. And my understanding is that you've launched some new products as well, haven't you? So hair care. Can you tell us a bit about that?
Yeah, do you want to, or me,
sure.
or you?
If you interject. So we have a shampoo and conditioner, with the same technology. So this is absolutely fantastic. I've given some samples to family and friends, and my daughter, for example, has a very dry, itchy scalp. She's not found anything to combat that, to help her, and to keep her hair in good condition as well. She tried this, and after the first go with the shampoo and conditioner, she saw a result. Now, that depends on, obviously, the severity of any condition. But with her, she saw a reduction in the dry flakes, a reduction in the dryness in her scalp, and her scalp felt much more comfortable. So again, same as the skincare, this helps with the scalp. And Eve will tell you how it helps with the scalp, with the follicle.
Yeah. So dermatopoietin, which is our technology that's triggering cell communication, it has 6 different scientific studies proving its action. But one of these studies shows that it reduces and prevents hair loss over time. And this is because it gets your skin to produce more of its own growth factors. These growth factors can act on a hair follicle and push it back into a growth phase, which means that you prevent hair follicles that are about, or hair in a hair follicle that's about to fall out, and any follicle that's just sitting dormant in a resting phase is pushed back into a growth phase. And it doesn't even have to penetrate the skin on the scalp to do this. So yeah, we're very happy about that launch.
And you know what, I'm seeing more and more things online, and when I'm talking to practitioners about hair loss, you know, there's now treatments like PRP, hair rejuvenation, there's hair filler, and I think it's a subject which a lot more people are openly talking about, because you know, there's so many people who are sufferers of hair loss, and particularly again with the aging process, it's something that a lot of people do suffer with. So if there's a product which is going to help prevent that, you know, I'm certainly going to be purchasing some, because I really enjoy it. It's just the fact that it's scientifically backed as well. You know, you've got science literally saying this is what this does and this is the results that it will give. And just going back to my previous point, as a practitioner or a hairdresser, I'm sure we've got hairdressers who use as well. I think it's really encouraging for the client if you're using products which maybe they've not even heard of as well. Like, I know a lot of clients may not have heard of Evenswiss, but that can be a really positive thing as well, because they want to try something new, and it just gives a bit more context to what you're explaining to the patient about their skin and the treatment that they're having as well.
I completely agree. People start to treat their scalp like they do the skin on their face, which is such a positive thing.
Yeah, that's right. They should do that. Absolutely. It's part of your skin. So
and you forget that, don't you? But it's literally attached to your face. But you forget that. Exactly. Where would you say that sort of skincare is going? Because obviously there's so much more knowledge these days around skincare, and you know, 10 years ago, like, there really wasn't that much. And even as a teenager, I kind of wish that I could grow up now, because so many teenagers have access to, you know, knowledge and good skincare brands as well. So where do you think sort of the next 10 years is going for skin, and sort of how it's developing?
I would say in some capacity more of the same. So for example, 15 years ago, 20 years ago, skincare was so basic. So you could hydrate your skin, cleanse your skin, but if you had a skin condition of any sort, so acne, rosacea, pigmentation, you know, any kind of oily imbalance, or you wanted to make a really big difference to prevent or reverse signs of aging, people were so frustrated. But now skincare has merged with pharmaceutical sciences, and you get these hybrid products, which are often referred to as cosmeceuticals, which use active ingredients and have the capacity to change the way a skin cell is behaving, which is essential, because when you have some kind of skin condition or skin problem, something is out of balance, and so you need to put it back into balance. And the only way to do that is to affect things at a cellular or molecular level. So Evenswiss is a really, really great example of a huge, huge innovation in terms of cosmeceuticals, which are now here. But I think it will only increase now that people have active ingredients and can manage mild to moderate skin conditions at home. I don't think they will settle for anything less.
Yeah.
And so we'll
As
see.
it should be. Yeah.
Yeah.
100%.
I think so.
Yeah, practitioners should lead by example as well. You know,
100%. Yeah, they've got the knowledge, and you know, skincare users are screaming out for the knowledge, and you know, for these people to tell them, the practitioners to advise them on what to use. And I think people are more daring now than they were a few years ago. They're more willing to try different skincare and just to get it right. And also, you know, don't forget that our skin changes by season, and you know, we should review our skincare all the time.
Yeah,
so
there's no one size fits all with this either.
No,
I mean, obviously, the Evenswiss products, from what you say, you know, they will be suitable for all skin types. But you know, everybody has different needs, like you say. You know, some people might have more oily skin, more dry skin, and so if you go to a drugstore and buy a skincare product, that's not necessarily going to be right for everyone. It might be right for, I don't know, a younger person. Like, you know, it is really complex in that sense. But I think as well, I remember kind of growing up, I would always go for kind of, well, I liked to purchase brands like Elemis and like more of the kind of luxury brands. But I mean, I could be wrong, but my understanding now is that just because it's expensive doesn't mean that it's really any good.
No, that's right.
And I think a lot of people do kind of just go for expensive skincare because they think, well, it must work then. But actually, you're just paying for a label.
Yeah, that's it.
Exactly. And this is where practitioners come in, because they're like a core point in the community where people go for information and recommendations, and they can really make a difference here.
They're experts in their field, and you know, that's what people want. They want to talk to someone who knows what they're talking about.
Yeah, absolutely. What advice would you ladies give to anybody who is kind of really overwhelmed with this whole skincare kind of subject? You know, there may be someone who does use their face wipes and just a cheap moisturizer and that's it, and they're kind of looking to really improve their skincare regime. What would your sort of top tips and starting points be for that?
Yeah, for me, it'll be like a scientific advice, and I'll keep it, you know, as simple as possible. Everybody needs a cleanser. Your skin builds up dirt, debris, oil, there's pollution, makeup, and so on. Everybody needs a cleanser. Everybody needs a specialized serum that is going to target what their skin needs. If it's preventing aging, it will do that. If it's signs of aging, it will do that. If you have uneven skin tone, it will do that. Your serum is such a high-tech product that's going to fix what you're unhappy with or help maintain what you already have. Next, a moisturizer is for your skin barrier. It's constantly, you know, going through the ringer and constantly being compromised. Everybody needs moisturizer and sunscreen. If you wear a sunscreen every single day, you will prevent up to 80% of the signs of aging you see on your face later. So those are my 4 key steps of what everybody needs to think about incorporating to begin with.
It's the SPF, you know, I mean, I've only recently started wearing SPF every day because I've only just started to understand the importance. But I heard as well, Eve, that it can contribute to 80% of aging.
Yeah, it's a lot.
That's so much.
Especially with, you know, some active ingredients will increase sun sensitivity. Evenswiss does not do that, which is a huge plus, but other active ingredients will. So you have to combine them with your sunscreen so you're not reversing all of the good things you've just done.
Yeah,
you know?
Especially if you're using like acids and things on your skin, you know, that can really make your skin more sensitive, can't it? So naturally, it's going to be more easier to get burn or sun damage, you know.
I think really, you know, if you are a person that's not really invested in skincare and this is your first time you're really looking into it, I think do your homework. There's so much information you can get at the end of your fingertips now, especially with social media and everything. And start off investing in a cleanser. Have a look at a good cleanser and start off with that, and then build on a brand. So as Eve said, SPF, start off with that next as well, the cleanser and SPF, and then build it. So you don't have to go out. It doesn't have to go and cost you hundreds of pounds to go out and buy a complete new range. Get your confidence in the brand, make sure it suits you, make sure you enjoy the experience of using it, the texture. There's so many different textures out there. Make sure the aroma's right for you as well. I don't know about you, Holly, but I've put things on my face that smell awful in the past.
Yeah, absolutely.
It may be fantastic, but it's made it smell awful. So.
But then I've also used things which smell amazing, and I'm like, is this gonna feel and smell nice, but is it not doing any good? I think we've covered all the questions, to be fair. Is there anything else that you ladies want me to ask, or that you want to interject with? Obviously I'll mention that you can get the products on Faces and things, but is there anything else that you want to just say or go over?
Said everything I want
I
to.
don't think so.
I guess just where they can contact us if they need. Where should we say? I guess on our Instagram handle, which is at Evenswiss UK. So any questions about the range? I mean, they can get in touch with you guys, or get in touch with us, or follow us.
Yeah,
that's it, really, right?
Yeah,
so they have a contact.
Yeah, amazing. So obviously, I'm sure there's plenty of people listening who are like, okay, I really need to get my hands on these products. So guys, I'm really excited to say that you can get the products via Faces on the pharmacy. So the whole skincare range is on there, and you can actually buy the range in full as well. So get straight onto the Faces shop and get those added to your basket, because I've used some of the products myself. They're absolutely amazing. And I think as a practitioner, just having that peace of mind that you are giving your client a really, really great product, and using great products on your clients is just what you should be doing. That you shouldn't settle for anything less than amazing products these days. So everything's available on Faces. If you do have any questions with regards to any of the products, how they work, what they do, etc., you can contact these lovely ladies at Evenswiss at Evenswiss UK on Instagram, and they'll be more than happy to answer any questions that you might have. But thank you so much for your time today, ladies. It's been great speaking with you, and I cannot wait to see what Evenswiss brings out in the future as well.
Thank you so much for having us.
Thank you.
So I always was fascinated with cosmetic surgery, and throughout medical school we ran surgical workshops,